When it comes to negotiating, when you're negotiating, it's very important that you, in an ideal situation, what would be good and a good route to take, and there's a couple of things you could do here. You can tell them your service and then ask them the question. Let me ask you a question. What sort of money would you pay for someone to carry this work out abroad, right? Get that question in, because when you get that question in, you will have a rough idea of how much this customer or this client is willing to pay. That is one route you could take. So say, for example, they say £700-800, you could say, actually, you're just about right, because we do charge £800, and you can have someone working, for you as fast as next week, Monday, to be fair. Remember, time does kill all deals, and so the quicker you get something like this done, the better it will be for you. Now, you could also go down the line of you saying the money first and saying something like, we make sure that the person is very well educated and looked after. We make sure that the work is getting done and the productivity level is high. We also make sure that the liability is taken away from you, and we provide all those services at 30% of the cost that is costing you right now. And therefore, the cost of this would be £800, saving you at least £1,500 to £1,600 per employee. It's very important to mention it like that. And I'll tell you why. Because when you say it's going to cost £800, you also want to mention how much you're going to save. And mention the numbers very specifically. Because if you just say it's going to cost £800, it's like, oh, okay, still not that far off. But if you say it's going to save you £1,500 per employee, all of a sudden that sounds like a good deal, right? So make sure you mention that. Now, they might want to say, look, can you do it for cheaper? Can you do it for less? And that's something that you're going to have to play by the ear, because if they're taking on 4 or 5 people, for example, and you're charging £800, but actually for this one employee, you can charge £700 and therefore get 5 people to, start, then it's fine, actually, to be fair. Having said that, if someone said to me, well, your price here is £800, can you do it for £700? I would say something like, look, it's very important for me to make sure you get the best person. It's very important for me to keep the productivity level high. And it's very important for me to make sure that I'm looking after this person and I'm not underpaying them. And so £800 is an extremely, extremely good price, especially factoring in that you're saving £1,500, let's be honest. But having said that, from £800, I'm going to reduce it to £775, and that does go into my margin, but I'm willing to do that so we can get business rolling with yourselves. Now, I know when I said that, you guys were like, fair enough, that sounds really good. And you're right, that's exactly what you need to say. So rewind this, go over it, write notes, and practice exactly what I've said. These things are super, super crucial and important, and it's important for you to understand sales.